We love it.
Couple minutes till starting time. Give people time to come on. I think that's you, not one person. This must be the sangria.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I knew about.
Hello, people. Come on in. Hey, Dom. You made it this week, huh? Been missing in action a little bit.
It's good.
You've had this before.
Yeah, I know.
You tasting it like you ain't never had it. What's this? Season
3?
4, episode 3. Welcome. We giving it a couple minutes. Get settled in.
I'm sorry. My mama tried to tell me my face looked oily last time. So I'm trying to make sure it don't look
Let her
oily
know
now.
we in the ring light. So
That's what I told her.
It's a little extra shine
so we ain't
on
on the
us.
computer no more.
Hey, Danny.
That's just the glow.
Yeah. But congratulations on your new job. But okay, let's get started. So we're here, season 4, episode 3, long distance versus real time dating. I'm Ken.
I'm Kay.
She's Kay. I'm Ken. This is Wine&Grow. When
Why?
we wine when we grow, and when we grow, we need wine. Yes. So yeah. So I already said the topic and stuff. So anyways, last week we talked about if we should be listening to our friends and family when dating. The week before that, we talked about people asking for things that they're not ready for. And now we're tapping into some, when you actually dating, some relationship stuff. So we getting a little bit, we reaching new levels each week. So I've personally done both. My preference is definitely in person.
Period.
Long distance dating is just like.
It's like a pen pal.
It is. It's really, the best thing about long distance relationships for me was the amount of time I did spend talking to the person.
It's built on a different level of intimacy.
Exactly, because you actually talk to them, because that's all you have is the phone conversation. So you're actually getting, I feel like I learned more about those people a lot sooner because all we did was talk.
Okay.
And versus when I'm dating in person, we're doing more, so it's like more activities. It's not a lot of time spent talking. It's a lot more time doing physical things. So I think that's the plus side of long distance relationship versus in person dating. But obviously, when you're in person, you get more of a sense of chemistry with somebody and how you really connect with them that you can't really get on the phone.
Yeah, but they say distance makes the heart grow fonder, so.
Yeah, that's true, but I think that's after the fact. After the fact of you meeting somebody, hey, there he is, of you meeting them, and you already being with them, then y'all separate. Then it's like, okay, because when you leave for a weekend, a couple days or something, you might start missing your boo, whatever.
Yeah.
But starting off like that, yeah, there's that anticipation of when you meet, but when you meet and then it don't turn out the way you thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Like, I had a really good long distance relationship up until the point we met.
This is why this was good long distance.
So it was like, up until the point we got together, everything was good. And then we had a weekend together. We had a weekend together, and then I got back home and I could not reach this person. My feelings was hurt. I'm like, what did I do? You know, I'm talking to my friends about it. I'm telling them from my perspective and what I think would be his perspective. I'm not leaving nothing out. And I'm like, am I crazy? Like, am I tripping? Like, no, this Negro is crazy. Like, just spaz. I'm like, okay, glad I got to see this side of this person. But that's something I wish I would have saw before I had started to date him. But I couldn't see that because we were dating long distance and had decided to be together before we really met each other. But that definitely was a learning situation. Yeah. And then I had another long distance relationship after that. Well, we didn't really get together. We were just talking. But so I wouldn't say that situation didn't stop me. And if I had another opportunity, I wouldn't say I wouldn't. But I just prefer to date in person. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be able to feel and touch you all the time. Mm-hmm. And my experience with it was just like, it ain't as fun as what people, I mean, the traveling part, yeah, you can just pop up or whatever the case may be. Because
it's not a lot of spontaneity.
Like, you can't really do too much. Right. Yeah, spontaneity, yeah.
And I didn't say it right.
I thought that's what you said, just slow.
It's not a lot of it when you're dating long distance because you got to plan.
Yeah.
You really have to plan to see somebody. You know, take time off, get on the plane and stuff like that. Whereas you hear exactly, you could just pop up at their crib, whatever, surprise them with different stuff. Yeah. So. Yeah. Because
my experience with it wasn't all that great. Not even when I got back, though, either. It was okay, but it was just nonsense. And I knew it was nonsense from the beginning. Because I didn't even want to talk to that person. It always happens that way.
I'm like, you seem to be having a lot of those situations.
It always happens that way.
Like, I didn't want to do it, but I did anyways.
Yes, and it just proved to be why I should have just left it alone.
Mm-hmm. Y'all, look at my pretty wine glass. See, it says Tenacity, my line name with the elephant. My line sister got it for me. Shout out to Gabby. So pretty, right? Because y'all see, I just celebrated 10 years with my line sisters, and this was one of my gifts. And I love it because they know I do wine. See, people pay attention. That's what I love. It's like, oh, y'all really pay attention because she's like, I know you do your show, and I thought I'd get you a wine glass. Thank you. And then she got me a journal with an elephant that looks just like this on it. It's dope. Anyways, back to the stories.
She had to tell y'all the story.
Just had to tell y'all. Because when we got off the show last week, I literally broke a wine glass.
Like, dropped her phone, hit the stem, and it broke.
And it broke. So I'm like, dang, I got to put that on my list. And then I get to DC, and I get 5 new wine glasses. So I'm super, super excited. Sequoia's drinking out of one of my new wine glasses, too.
I was about to say that.
Shout out to Nafi. Shout out to Nafi for those wine glasses. So, yeah, I just, got the hookup. Didn't even... So I could take those off my shopping list. But, yeah. Y'all got some long distance stories? Like, you ain't got no...
I've only done it once, but the once was enough for me to see that that's just not what I care to do. Mm-hmm. Because I do like spontaneity. I do like to go out and be able to hang with you in person and not just for a weekend or for a week. Like, we got time to do these things, but we can't do it when we apart.
Dang, to think about it, I actually dated 3 people in a row long distance.
What's the third one?
Because first it was, I dated somebody from Rockford.
Oh.
So it wasn't that far.
Yeah.
Then it was somebody in Georgia. And then it was somebody in DC.
Yeah.
So and those were all back to back. And then, but the person that I'm with now, it was like just a whole nother vibe. Because it was in person. This person did. So it was just, but it was like all of those things that I learned from those long distance relationships, I applied to this. And it's like, it's made it so much better though. Yeah. Like.
But even to know that the one from Rockford was still only a couple hours and that was still considered long distance.
Yeah, because we didn't see each other. We didn't even see each other.
And that's like not even that far.
Unless I came to town or whatever, like, it was crazy.
That was one-sided.
But it's like, it just let you see, like, when they say that, different people for different seasons and different reasons. Yeah. Like, you really, when you start to look back at stuff, you really start to see the purpose in those relationships. And when we talked about this before on the show, and we misread the purpose of a connection. We're thinking we're supposed to be with this person and we're supposed to try to make this thing work, when in reality that person was just coming along to teach you a lesson or to be your friend. And with those long distance relationships, especially with the first one and the last one, they were definitely meant for different reasons from what I wanted them to be.
Yeah.
Both of those people definitely taught me a lot about myself, and they were very intelligent men. They had, you know, great things going for themselves, and they showed me a lot of stuff about myself and helped me grow. Unfortunately, I just wasn't at a level where I could appreciate them and what they brought to the table back then.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But
yeah. Keisha said it's ghetto. Definitely wouldn't recommend.
Definitely. It's definitely ghetto. You know, like, but if I mean, anybody had any good experiences with Long, like I touched on the good part of it. I'm not saying it was a terrible experience. I'm just saying that my preference is in person because, like Sequoia was saying, I like to touch. I like to do things. I like to do things randomly. Like, hey, what you doing? Let's meet up. I ain't trying to have to look for a flight every time I'm trying to kick it with you.
First of all, this is what I had. This is why we supposed to do it on 2 phone.
Yeah.
My mom is in one for almost 2 years now. I can't see how she does it, but she said it's best for her because she likes her space.
So were they always, like, they met separately and then, like, and they've always just been separate, or were they together and then separate? You know?
Why did I close out of this?
You know, like, so people can meet and then separate, but they just met like that and just been like that? That's deep.
And this is the only time she's ever done that. Because I got questions if this is mostly what she likes to do.
Because that's just her vibe.
But it's like, why don't you want to be close?
And I was about to say, but that says something about people too when they want to date long distance like that. When that, like, if you have a preference to be separate from, it's like a sort of a fear or insecurity, you know, that's stopping you from being intimate, truly intimate with somebody. No, they've known each other from when they were young, and then they reconnected. Okay. So they knew each other before.
So this is the only time that you know of, Danielle, that she's been long distance.
She's so irritated. Dog is crazy.
Fed up.
She just spoiled. I don't know what. Oh, that's on my blanket. Excuse me.
You know about what you said, like, you know, different people for different seasons. I've realized what for myself is that, you know, instead of trying to look for something in the person to be that person, remember how we was like, how to be of service to them, how can I service you, or how is this helping me? And that's just how I've been moving with a lot of relationships or a lot of people now. Just how can this help me? How can I help them? Versus going into it looking for, like, me, thinking about me, and what I want in a situation. So and then knowing when to.
You love to stop mid-sentence to read, and I be trying to get you to keep talking and let me read.
Sorry, I be wanting to see too.
Because then you lose your train of
thought. No, but like that, just over time, it has been able to help me create boundaries with different people. In those instances, either cutting them off or just letting them know that things are just finna change.
Taylor said, me, I work a lot and I'm in school full time. I'm booked and busy anyways. We met online. He works on the road for a living. We just welcomed our first baby girl last year. I love when he is here, and our time together extremely intentional. That's a very different perspective. Yeah. And congratulations, Taylor. Hey, girl, by the way. Congratulations on your baby girl. She is beautiful. So y'all actually live separately? Or does he just work on the road? Is he just gone a lot and he comes and he lives there? Or y'all actually live separately and he visits? Like, you know, but I love that. And if it's working for y'all, that's good. Yeah. Like, because, you know, you have people who date, like, pilots and flight attendants and truck drivers. So they're separate from their mates. A lot of people who are in the Army and different stuff like that. Yeah.
That'd be what I'll be thinking about. And, you know, I always told myself that I just don't care to date someone that's in the service like that because of the amount of time that they would have to spend away.
Yeah.
Because it's like you have kids and stuff, and it's not their fault because this is their job, but then you're spending most of your time with these kids, and it can become overwhelming when you thought you were gonna have both parents to be able to help you.
Wow, they live separately. So y'all, and that's and I, like you just said, like, that works for you right now because y'all both have your own separate lives that y'all are living. You know, you're finding yourself, you're finishing up school, and sometimes, and what that sounds like to me, and I please don't take this offensively, is that you two are not in a space where you're ready to be together in that way. Like, so you don't mind staying separately because y'all have your own different life things that y'all getting together. And let me finish my stuff. Let me worry about me, focus on me, and then we can talk about we.
Yeah.
Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. Because some people can get really distracted by relationships and having people right spot on in their space. Like, you change everything to accommodate the life of someone else.
Been thinking about that. Like, I feel like it's okay, and because a lot of people, when we get into relationships, we end up moving in together. I feel like it is okay to live separately until that time comes, because we become codependent in most cases, and then we do get comfortable in that space.
Codependency. Ooh, Jesus.
Okay.
Because yes, that's the thing,
man. So I think that it's better, and that also gives us our space to be in our own space. Versus us trying to get mad and we gotta go somewhere else.
I'm about to say, because
no.
if something like you have time to be separate, like you need time to be separate. And I'm a very what do you call it? I don't want to say needy, but I like. We talked about affirmations before. Quality time is an affirmation of mine. I'm not gonna put a negative connotation on how I see things, period. So I like quality time. So I really have to check myself sometimes of when that space is necessary, or if my boo can't come tonight or whatever, like, okay, that's fine, cool. Let me do something for me that I maybe haven't had a chance to do because it's been about we the last couple of nights, and we actually had to have that conversation, of just like, even if we are together in the same household, if he spends time here, that doesn't mean that all of our time has to be together, even if we're here together. Like, you may want to watch something different on the TV that I don't want to watch it, or maybe I'm taking a nap and you want to go into the living room or whatever. Like, and that should be okay. You shouldn't have to always sit under each other at all times. Yeah. Like, you want to still be able to have your individuality. So just be open to learning in people's perspectives. I think that matters in any type of relationship, long term, or whether that's long distance or in person. Like, that's going to be the most valuable thing, is learning to just listen to each other and hear out each other's different perspectives and respecting those opinions. So that's just being an adult.
That's communication and comprehension.
That's being an adult, being mature, when you're listening and you're actually taking heed to what people are saying. Yeah. I know.
I won't do it again.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I won't say I won't.
I mean, I know it's at the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
It's definitely not something that I prefer.
Yeah.
And it's not something that I prefer.
Yeah.
Although I love to travel, but if I'm traveling, I ain't trying to keep visiting the same state.
And it matters to where you are, like, in growth, because like, I remember, like, even when I was dating, like, the first couple times that I dated long distance, like, my mentality went straight to uprooting my life to be with this person. Okay, I can find a job. I can do this. I'm looking for houses. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. About to take my son.
Nowhere in today.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I'm boom. I'm just straight ahead. Like, this is what's going to happen. I didn't actually take the time to actually nurture the relationship and really get to know the person, which probably could have helped. When I said I had that encounter with this person when we did meet in person. Had I really took the time to really get to know them, then I probably could have avoided that situation. But the last person that I dated long distance, I had a different mentality. Like, I didn't even consider who would move. I'm not going to think about that yet. Like,
It's like each time it made you slow down more and more.
Exactly. But that's life. That's what it's about, right? Yeah. It's about learning, applying those lessons, not keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. Yeah. But yeah, each time I slow down. And even now, I'm a lot more slower. A lot more slow.
It's a lot more slower.
I'm a lot more slow with everything. We ain't got to. It's fine. No problem.
Nope. I just give people what I don't even overthink nothing no more. I'm just here. I'm gonna give you what I'm taking what you're giving me. Taking what you're giving me, and we'll take it day by day. That's it.
Can we just take a moment to just talk about this weather? I am so upset that it snowed yesterday. Like, it was my baby birthday, and I have never seen that type of weather on his birthday in the 14 years that I've had him. We be having Easter egg hunts, barbecues, all type of stuff. It snowed.
It snowed all the way to May before.
I just remember my baby's birthdays always being bright and beautiful. So that kind of threw me off. Yeah. Like, I was like, what is this? And it's super cold outside. I want to sit outside. Like, I'm ready to be sitting outside. Like,
what is it here? Like,
can we get rid of this cold weather?
It's really like finna be May. And it's still about 50 degrees.
Trying to set up my patio set, get the bonfire pit going. Like,
it's snowing, right? Oh.
That's crazy. You in Colorado, right, Dom?
I had to look outside. It was raining a little bit or sprinkling or whatever it was.
I actually saw a little flurries today after my grass was cut.
Today was,
I was like, what is, I thought, oh, it's snowing again. Let me go in the house. Because I was going to walk Nova, but she know we don't walk in the cold. She ain't trying to do that either. We going to wait till it's nice outside and we going to go for a walk.
She tried to get in somebody's car on Friday.
Ready to go. She's ready to go. She a car booty.
Curtis, it's not your car. Get
car
out.
Booty. What y'all got any comments on long distance relationships, dating in person? Like, what are some more benefits of dating in person? Outside of obviously the physical part, being able to touch them.
But you get to still, even if it's not physically touching them, you still get to feel what you're getting from this person. If you'll know, like, in your face,
energy.
Their energy. And you can just be able to look them in the face to see what you're getting from that person.
Oh yeah, because before, now we in the age of FaceTime, so you can FaceTime somebody, you can kind of see their reactions to certain things, but in person you cannot hide it. Yeah. Just period. Like, you can't hide your attitudes. You can't. Your body language is gonna speak for itself. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Energy, like, because that's something that you're missing when you talking through the phone. Yep. You can guess off somebody's tone and stuff like that. It's a lot of miscommunication that's happening, especially if you texting a lot.
Yeah.
So
stimulation of the mind to see how compatible you really are. Yeah.
Is that a benefit of you said that's a benefit in person
on the phone too, but yeah.
I think that was the most thing that I found beneficial in a long distance relationship is the stimulation of the mind. My mind was more stimulated with the people that I dated long distance than the people that I dated in person. No offense. If you watch it, if you listen it, no offense. But no, I just have deeper conversations with those people. You know, that's because it was like constant talking. It wasn't just every day. It wasn't just how was your day? What you doing?
So she's saying it's the same. Okay,
deep.
Yeah, Taylor said absolutely. Communication is so key. When you long distance, all you have is communication. I love the sweet words all the time. Plus creative with FaceTime, eating dinner together and stuff. She said fighting through FaceTime is the same. Spencer said I have a really deep testimony from a long distance relationship. Share your testimony.
Tell me, you want us to bring you on screen, Spence?
Oh, he said none. Mike said none. Take it. We both did. We did.
Bye. Bye. Talking about, I want to hear this testimony though, Spence. Like, I need to know if we can bring you on screen. You could tell us.
Oh, he said sure.
Okay, I need to see how I can do that now. Let me see if I can find where you came on. No, let me see. How you add a person?
Can you do it at the bottom? Because you had all those buttons.
I'm trying. Let me see. Y'all know how to do this? Right here? Oh.
Request. Yep. Add.
Okay. Yep. Okay, we figuring this out. Okay. And say we added you.
That's the I forgot you scrolled up.
Somebody said he got a request to
join.
Hey,
connecting. I added them. Hey, Spence.
How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, team.
Right. You finally on Wine&Grow. Welcome.
I know it's been crazy.
You've been a dedicated viewer.
Absolutely.
Since day one, we appreciate you. So
appreciate
shout
y'all.
out to
Thank you.
Shout out to Cakes of Praise because you know I love the cakes. So go ahead, tell us your testimony.
So this was back when I was in grad school, back in 2016, 2017.
Mhm.
I was in a relationship that was going on the 2 year mark, and I had accepted a internship to finish my grad program in Colorado. So, and my ex was in grad school in Iowa at Iowa State. So it was a really, really, really long distance relationship. We went to undergrad, and when I was still in grad school together, we were still together at Western. So, and then when they got their acceptance letter, and then I got my acceptance letter, we was like, oh, this is gonna be a long distance. So in the beginning, it was all good. Like, I was in Denver for about 6 months, and my ex was, just starting their grad program. So everything was cool, like month one and month two, and then it got really intense, like month three. Like we was really starting to like feel the effects of like long distance relationships, and we fell out for a minute, but we eventually got back, to remember our core values about our relationship. um my testimony comes from like when I came back to Chicago. We took an anniversary trip to Minneapolis, and my ex was meeting me up at they were driving up to Iowa, and then I was driving. I just took a flight, and then we just carpooled together in her car. So when we got to, after all the activities and stuff died down, and we actually had a conversation just about where things were going. And this is year two. So I had found out that she was really struggling with depression. And, I couldn't actually tell through FaceTime that she was actually going through depression and anxiety, and just really in a bad mental state. And she had actually started seeking counseling, but she was afraid to tell me. And so I had noticed like it was like a energy and vibe that was really off the whole trip, and I was like, "Is something going on? Like, what's going on?" Being a caring, concerned boyfriend, and that's when it all just came out, and we was just like in tears. It was like, "Oh my goodness!" Like I did not even know that all this
Right.
stuff was going on. So I just think that it is really important to pay attention and really ask those open-ended questions, when you're in a long distance relationship, because I had no clue,
Yeah.
and had not have had that trip, who would have said that I would have ever found out? So yeah, that's my little testimony. So
And then that goes both ways because it was like, what about her that didn't want to share that with you? Like making sure that we being open with our mates when we are not in their space, because we get, like we were just talking about energy and stuff. Like we get, like when you around somebody, you could tell if they upset. But when you're not, you have to literally tell that person everything. And you get in those little moments, those attitudes where you expect somebody to just know how you feel. When you like, you should have been able to tell I was mad, but like how?
right.
How if you didn't tell me? How could I not how did I not know that you were upset? Like what's that about? That's crazy. That was deep.
Yeah.
And so, how long were y'all long distance for?
About 6 months. So I accepted the internship in January and finished in like the end of May, June. And then I came back to Chicago, but she was still out in Iowa. She had just started the graduate program in August. So that was like half a year one for her. So
Wow. Do you guys think that it's a certain amount of times you might need to see each other for a long distance relationship to work? Like, how often should you visit the other person, or they come visit you?
that's a good point. Um,
Exactly. I would have liked to see it every month at least. If, it was
so
like every month.
And here's the crazy thing. So we actually planned the trip, and she came out to Colorado in like late March, early April. I don't remember the exact date. And we did a weekend celebration, and it was like I didn't notice any of the signs of depression or anything. It was like we had a great time. But in that 2 month span, it is just crazy how things can really, develop over time, and you have to just address it face to face.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay.
Is that somebody's head?
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, Spence, for
Yeah,
sharing
no
your story.
problem. I love what y'all doing.
We
This
gonna
is
let you
great.
off. Stay in the comments. But I want to know if somebody else want to get in.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you.
Nafi, hey Nafi, I just shouted you out for the wine glasses. So yes, it's beautiful. They're beautiful. Anybody else want to come on and share a story about long distance relationship, or maybe just share like how different it was for you, dating somebody long distance versus in person dating. I didn't really get into detail about the situation that happened with me when I was gone. Like I literally, I mean, I guess it's not really much to say.
But I mean, you could tell what happened. You know what I mean? It's just like, who knows?
Because like we started talking and like, what's that? It was okay. We talked for like this is somebody who I knew, first of all. Well, I thought I knew. Somebody who I met in college and I'll say somebody who I was familiar with. I won't say somebody I knew. Somebody I was familiar with, and they said they, had always had a crush on me and all that blah blah blah, want to date me and all that type of stuff. So okay, let's go ahead, let's give it a shot. But this person was in Georgia and I'm here in Chicago. But I also have family in Georgia, so I'm like, okay, remember I said that's in my mind. I can move, I could do this, I could do that. I have family down there, all this other stuff. So let's give it a shot. So into like a month of dating, into a month of talking, because we never dated, right? We didn't go out, we didn't do anything, just talking about a month of talking to each other, having some pretty deep conversations. We decided to go ahead and make it official. And that was in like February. So we started talking in like January at the beginning of the year. And then we started dating in February. In April, I was due to go talk at a conference in Cleveland. So I had access. That was basically the first time we were planning to meet up. So he was going to meet me in Cleveland so we can meet up. Told me that he couldn't make it and all this type of stuff, but then surprised me and showed up. Cute. So, anyways, weekend. I mean, I was mad. I was mad that he couldn't come. He told me, I'm like, because we had planned this all of this time, and then here we go the week of, like a couple nights before, he like, I can't make it. So I was literally upset. And then when I got off the plane, first time together, us dating, it's really being able to actually date. He wants to just stay in the room. I'm like, let's go outside, let's go out to eat. Let's go to a bar, have some drinks or something, let's do something fun so we can really interact with each other. He was like, no. And I got mad. Got an attitude, tried to go to sleep or whatever. And if they say don't go to bed mad. Because went to bed mad, woke up the next morning, it was the same thing. And then basically when we left, like we said, we had our words or whatever with each other about what had happened. He thought that my attitude was petty, and I thought, like that he could have listened to me and stuff, heard me out, all that. So just basically miscommunication. He went back to Georgia. I came back to Chicago, and then I tried to reach out to him. He would not answer the phone. Would not talk to me, like, or wouldn't even have a conversation as to why he didn't want to talk to me. Like, just decided that it was just done. And I was like, okay? And at that time, being a person that I was looking for closure, needed to talk to this person, so I'm literally trying to figure out how to talk to this person. I'm blowing up the DMs, calling the phone, all that extra trying stuff, trying to figure it out. Looking back, I think it was deeper than what he said, because I just felt like that was just really awkward. I know there was some personal things he had going on, you know, his mother, the mother of his child, and stuff like that. So I don't know. There's a lot of different situations I have in my mind of what way it could have went, but I just felt like no adult should communicate that way by just not communicating. Like, ain't nobody trying to make you stay. I'm just trying to figure out what happened so I can know how to move forward and what not to do in the future. Like, we got to help each other. You know, like, tell me what I did wrong. Help me see the things, you know, so I can be a better person. Then I got to figure it out on my own. I think I did this. I know I caught the attitude, and that was petty. Like, I've stopped myself from doing that recently. You know, like, oh, okay, you said no, that's fine. I don't get an attitude about it. Like, you know, it's your decision, you know, so that I don't have those type of situations again. So I still learn from it regardless. But that's basically what happened. Like, we got into it, and then I was ghosted. Didn't know how to deal with conflict. So, yeah. It was weird. Yeah.
That's that one. That's that one, because you had like 3.
The one after him, though, like, he would come see me and stuff. Like, I've seen him a couple times. And it was really nice when we got together. Like, I was just not in the space to be really ready for a relationship, and he knew that, and he respected that. So he just allowed me the space to still growing and learning myself while, you know, dating me and being my friend. At moments when I thought I was ready, like, no, you're not, which kind of turned me off, because I'm like, at what point am I ready for you? Like, you were constantly telling me that I'm not ready, and I'm telling you that I'm ready, so just forget you. Leave me alone. So, because I'll be ready for someone.
It just ain't you.
It ain't you.
What's supposed to be.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hers is exciting. Mine wasn't all that. Mine was a friend of one of her friends. And I told her that I did not. I do this every time, but I believe in giving people chances because I could be wrong. So I just said, okay, cool. We talk.
I know y'all wish we said names. These stories would be so much more interesting.
It would,
if y'all
but
could put a face.
That's just way too much.
It is.
We can't be putting these people out here like this. They know who they are if they watch.
Exactly.
It is what it is. But they know they're going to be talked about because this is still our story anyway.
It is.
So
we try to be fair.
That's it. About not saying that. That's the fairest we can get.
I don't know why these cracks on. Go ahead.
So we we started talking in like what was that? Like December. And then I came home to visit y'all. I popped up on. That was just how I think. At one point, that was just how I think. Just popped up out of nowhere. My man thought I was at work the entire time, and I was on the road driving back to Chicago. But it was just different because seeing a person in person is not the same as you've created a whole vision of what they could look like outside.
So you wasn't attracted.
That's
the way you was on.
Or it's just it still wasn't just what I. It just wasn't what I expected. That's what I would say.
Okay.
It just wasn't what I expected because again, you create a picture of the person. You would see their face, but then you probably, if you ain't really following them or nothing, like paying attention, then you don't really know.
Yeah, pictures are deceiving.
You don't really know what they look like. You could be 5'4" and I think you're 6 feet.
Yep. Yep. That's true.
So it just wasn't what I expected, and then just following it just didn't go well because people weren't in the spaces to be ready for what I was saying that I was ready for. So it was, and then that just had to end.
That's what happened with the first person that I dated long distance. I thought he was taller. And then I remember we first met up.
Like
I don't know. But when I first met up with him in person, and he jumped off that truck. And then I had the nerve to have on some heels. I was like, oh, okay, so this is what this is. All right. I don't like to date short guys. I don't. It's not a preference of mine.
But yeah, I'm not tall, but you gotta be taller than me, just a little
At least be my height.
That's it. But you cannot be shorter than me. And then
I like to date a
short-term.
guy who's at least my height when I'm in heels, because then that's when I'm out of heels, you need to go taller than me. Like, out.
I don't mind having a couple an inch or two on you if I got on heels, but I don't want to be like 5 inches taller than you.
Crazy.
That's terrible. That is nuts. That is so. That's ugly, y'all. I'm sorry.
Have the nerve to be in that big old truck.
So that's when he hopped out the truck. All I think it was a little person hopping out the truck. Cause all you see is their head. You don't know what the rest of their legs got until they get out.
Funny. Y'all, that is funny. Y'all got some stories? I'm gonna stop telling all my business. Oh my goodness. How long we been on here?
9 more minutes than what we should have.
Oh, so that's why we wrapping up anyway.
Yeah.
So basically, to sum this all up, everybody has a preference. Long distance relationships, in-person relationships, there's no yes or no about it. It's about what works for you. And if you're doing either one, communication is always key, regardless, no matter which one you're doing. Making sure that you're being honest and open, because like Spence shared his story, you know, like especially if you've been in a long distance relationship, like transparency and vulnerability is going to be very important, because you can't see the person, you can't feel the person, you can't feel that energy, so you need to make sure that you're actually expressing yourself verbally as much as you can, because they'll miss things. You can't read under the lines, in between the lines rather, when you're not in person. You know, when you're in person, because we know a good side of being long distance is that you get to build on that communication. You get to learn a lot of things because you're basically talking a lot. So when you're in person, make sure that you're also in tune with your person verbally. You're talking about those deep, you're having those deep conversations and making sure you're getting to build those in that intellectual relationship and attraction to that person, not just being all physical. Spend some time getting to know each other.
Become friends.
Yeah.
Because that's what it be. The people don't really understand that the reason a lot of relationships fail and why it's so hard in the relationship is because nobody is becoming friends before they already start dating each other.
Yeah. It's crazy how your significant other literally becomes your best friend when you get to know them the right way.
Try to get a bit of friendship and an actual real intimate relationship with each other when one got to come before the other.
Yeah.
It'll make it a lot smoother.
Yep. What's next week's episode? Is it daddy issues? Okay. Next week we'll be talking about daddy issues. So just talking about women, men, because men have daddy issues. Yeah. Just how, you know, the effects of not having a father figure in your life. You know, at least the way you thought you should have a father figure in your life. You know, that the daddy you thought you should have. So come back next week. Join us here on Facebook Live, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Grab your wine and be on time. I just wanted to rhyme a little bit. But
I'm doing that all week to myself, though.
We appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe on the video. You leave us some feedback. This is our last season. So stay in tune, y'all.
Get with us last season.
Right, just stay here. You know, keep with us and for these last few episodes. Next week we're gonna be halfway through the season.
It's a proud moment. We made it through 4 seasons. Yeah.
We made it a year. It's been a year that we've been doing this. We never thought that it would be going this long. So
for real.
But we're not gonna drag it any longer than it has to be either. So we appreciate all the love and support, but we'll get to that at the end. I ain't get off. But yes, Vince. Yes, exactly. Yes. So we'll talk to y'all next week. Deuces.
Peace and love.